All right, I totally can't believe that I'm going to admit this next one, but who does that? I'm so embarrassed to admit that. That is definitely a part of my life that I didn't want anyone to know. Being a mom is hands down the hardest job in the world. If you are a mom, I know you can relate to just how wonderful and rewarding it is, but how unbelievably challenging and difficult it is, especially if you are trying to juggle work and family. As a full-time working mom of 4 kids, 8 and under, I have really struggled over the years. It's just time to let the cat out of the bag because I would be willing to bet that I'm not alone. I really hope I'm not the only one that has struggled with these things. But in this video, I want to confess 10 things that I really struggle with as a working mom. Big welcome if you are new. I'm Amber with Solutions for Simplicity, and this channel is all about helping you do more, stress less, and free up more time for who and what you love. I know how hard it is to try and balance all the things. And so I hope that these videos inspire you, motivate you, but more importantly, equip you with real, proven, science-based tactics for juggling the many moving pieces of your life. I make weekly videos, so definitely subscribe and click that notification bell down below so you don't miss a single video. All right, let's get on with the confessions. Are you ready? Confession number 1 is that I have thought about quitting my job pretty much every single day since my first son was born. He is going to be 9 in August, and I just never knew what a pull I would feel on my heart to be home with him. It has just been so hard and so challenging that not a day goes by without me wondering if I am messing up my kids, if I should quit to make everything easier, and just, how I can simplify because it feels so impossible to keep up with. At the same time, my family is dependent on my income, so quitting has never been a feasible option. And the reality is that I know I would never get a position like this back if I were to leave, right? It's not the kind of career where you can step away and then come back, certainly not at the level that you're at. So as a side note, I have a video coming where I will review what I believe are the most friendly careers out there for work-life balance. Make sure and subscribe so you don't miss that one, but I'm very grateful every single day that the flexibility of my job as a professor enables me to both work and prioritize my family. Confession number 2 is that since quitting has not been an option, I've kind of gone to the other extreme, and I so often can't separate myself from my work. I can't stop thinking about it, right? I love what I do. I love my research. I love teaching, and I especially love my side business here where I'm sharing all of these things with you. And so even though I strive to be fully present at home and really carve out that dedicated quality time with my kids, more often than not, my brain is constantly churning and I'm always thinking about work even when I am trying to be with my family. Confession number 3 is that my mom guilt is off the charts. This is something that I have really struggled with over the years, and while I think it's gotten a little bit better and I've learned some really actionable ways to temper it, it's still so emotional every time I have to leave my kids and, drop them at school or daycare to go to work or enroll them in summer camp because my work never ends, right? It just is really stressful because my kids are incredible and I love spending time with them. It just feels like never enough. I've got a lot of conviction now that I am where I'm supposed to be and that God has endowed me with certain gifts and talents that I am meant to use through my work, right? In hopes of helping others. And that's not to be a trade-off with my family. It's not to be at the detriment of my family. But yeah, the guilt is sort of always there in the background. Definitely let me know in the comments if you can relate to this one. But confession number 4 is that Monday is pretty much my favorite day of the week. Don't get me wrong, I love the quality time I get with my kids on the weekend, but that being said, the weekends are also really, really stressful because as a working mom, that's the only time I have for all the housework, all the errands, and so many other things. And then it's often just really noisy, really chaotic, kind of going nonstop. So by the time Monday rolls around, I am feeling like it's a vacation to just get to sit down at my desk and kind of hear my own thoughts and produce something that I have control over, right? It feels easy and it's more immediately gratifying. Being a mom is hard. It feels so thankless so much of the time, whereas my work often feels like I can get certain results. If I just work hard enough, I can make something happen, and that's not usually the case with kids. Confession number 5 is that I get so overwhelmed by those unexpected sick days or school closures. I count on having a certain structure to my week and certain times where I can get various kinds of tasks done because my work never ends. I'm in a profession where there is always more that could or should be done. That's a whole other source of stress. But when I have big deadlines or when I need to be somewhere and then I get that phone call that one of my kids is sick and needs to come home, or if there's bad weather, or just all the ups and downs that life throws at us, right? Those are hard. It has not been easy to roll with the punches and handle those moments. They are definitely a big ongoing source of stress. But that being said, that's why I have tried to become so fanatic about planning precisely for those unexpected things to make sure I'm giving myself enough time and building in those cushions and not get thrown off when they inevitably happen. Number 6 is that I hate asking for help. I know I need help. What mom doesn't, right? We all wish that we had help. We wish someone would kind of swoop in and save us. But at the same time, I really, really struggle with letting anyone else take over, no matter how simple the task. And it's for a mix of reasons, right? It's both that I want to believe I'm capable of doing whatever it is. And that's not usually the question, right? Usually we are capable. Maybe we just don't have the capacity to get it done. That is so often the case. Then I also just wrestle with feeling like people will think I am weak if I ask for help. And that's the classic perfectionist in me that is just really concerned with maybe what other people would think. So I'm trying so hard to get away from that. And then the real confession is that part of why I don't like to delegate things, why I struggle to ask for help, is because I know nobody is going to do things at quite the level I would do them myself. And that's not to say that my way is the best way. It just means that I am very particular. I'm totally that type A person. So letting go of control and letting things just be what they're gonna be, right? Letting someone else take over, take the reins, that is very, very hard for me. Again, please let me know in the comments if you are like this too. It's something I am working on, and I feel like I'm getting better at this, even in simple things like having my kids help out more around the house. I want to raise them to be responsible and self-sufficient and independent. So that has meant letting them do things like laundry and the dishes, even when I know that those things aren't going to get done up to my exceptionally high standards. That segues into confession number 7, which is that my house is so often a complete disaster. I just can't keep up with these kids who are constantly pulling things out and always going a million miles a minute, even though I'm really working with them to pick up after themselves. It's pretty impossible. And I would more often than not rather spend quality time with them or invest some time into myself and my passions, my creative outlet, than spend time doing chores. So I've just kind of accepted that this is how it is right now. It's not going to be this way forever. And someday I will hopefully get back to having that better homes and gardens looking house. Right now, please give me advance notice before you show up at my door. I so can't believe I'm going to admit this, but confession number 8 is that I have on more than one occasion needed to pull dirty clothes out of the laundry for my kids to wear to school that day. I can't even begin to explain how it gets that bad. Now, in my defense, it's because they have certain uniforms they need to wear on a regular basis, and sometimes I just get behind or the schedule changes and stuff like that. And no, it's never so dirty, but still, like, who does that? I'm so embarrassed to admit that. That is definitely a part of my life that I didn't want anyone to know. On a more serious note, confession number 9 is that no matter how things ever look on the outside, inside, I so often feel like a complete failure at it all. I feel like I am failing at motherhood and totally lacking at my job. And it's like, no matter how hard I try, I just can't be everything to everyone. I can't perform at my old level, and I just can't do all the things that sound so easy in my head. I think the best thing that we can do is keep showing up, trying to be better day after day, and acknowledging how we feel, giving ourselves credit, giving ourselves grace, because this is not easy and we are doing it. There's no such thing as perfect, no matter what we aspire to be. We just need to give ourselves credit and a big old pat on the back. Last but not least, confession number 10 is that even though I have been doing this a while, even though I know what is scientifically shown to help us do more and stress less, I still struggle with being as productive as I should be, especially in those small chunks of time. I so often feel totally frazzled and paralyzed, and that's why I'm so passionate about reiterating the importance of knowing your priorities and having those plans in place so that you can get done what you need to do when and as the time arises. Again, let me know if you can relate to any of these struggles, or please comment below if there's a confession that you have that I didn't mention. This is such a place where I hope we can support each other and cheer each other on. So jump straight into these other videos for some more helpful tips. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly videos. Have a great day.